Is this thing on? I can't tell if it's on or not. It says it's live. Hello? Are you out there? I think I'm going to prop this up. There we go. That's a little better. Fiddle. Fiddle, no. All right. I think I'm on. I think you guys are out there. Now let me see. I've never done this before. This is the first time, so please bear with me. We had some technical difficulties in the first 5 minutes, so I'm sorry for being late. So let me find the questions, and we can get this party started.
There's a delay.
I don't know how to make this window go away. It says, have a Q&A session with your audience. Oh, I'll do this. Okay. So, where are the questions? There. One moment. I'm sorry. I don't know how to make this window go away. It says, have a Q&A session with your audience. Oh, I'll do this. Okay. Sorry, guys. We're going to get this figured out in just a second. It's just the first time we've ever done it, so. Where did the window go, Bobby? Bobby's here, by the way.
What one are you looking for?
The one that shows my live stream. There. Hold on. I think I found it. Bye-bye. There it is. That one. You guys are so awesome for being so patient while I try to figure out technology that I've never used before. Yay! All right. Cool. So I've got the questions pulled up. All right. We got it. We are on a roll. Okay, so this is really weird because I'm talking to a lot of people and I'm in my kitchen and the light is really bright, kind of making me look washed out. But this is my house, and I welcome you into my living room and my kitchen. I wanted to do this in the kitchen because that's like the place where everyone congregates and wants to talk, and there's food involved. I don't have any food right now, but I am brewing some tea that I'm going to get in just a second. So yeah, I was getting a lot of questions on Facebook and on Twitter about the tour with Topson Blue that I just did, and I wanted to answer them all, but I wanted it to be more of an interactive experience than just me typing answers on Facebook and on Twitter. So I didn't know about YouTube Hangouts and being able to live stream a Q&A, and we found out that this exists, and it sounded so cool, so I wanted to do it with you guys. And I'm so excited about all the people that are tuned in already. I'm seeing some questions here on the side. So I'll just go ahead and start answering some. Shania Emmons, or Emmons, I'm not sure. Hi, Shania. What all do you do in the military? Do you like the experience? Yes, I love the experience. I wouldn't do it if I didn't love it. What all do I do? Gosh, I do a lot. I do a lot because there's a lot of different ways you can be involved in the military, and that's something that a lot of people don't know. You can pretty much do whatever you want in the military. You can be a doctor, you can be a teacher, there are so many different professions. So for me, I started in intelligence. When I enlisted at 19 years old, that's what I did. I was a mission planner for the B-2 Stealth Bomber in Missouri, and I was active duty. And I started learning about all these different musical opportunities within the Air Force, and Topson Blue was one of them. I've got my Topson Blue shirt on. And Topson Blue was something I auditioned for. I didn't really know what I was getting into, and I just knew I wanted to sing, and if I could do that while I was active duty in the military, that would be awesome. So I did Topson Blue for a year. We toured around and did morale shows for the troops and for communities and families of troops, and we went overseas, and we pretty much hit every Air Force base that exists just doing morale shows. And then from Topson Blue, I went back to Intel, but while I was on Topson Blue, I was approached by the Air Force Band and one of the directors, and they wanted me to audition for that. So I auditioned for that so I could be a vocalist full-time as my full-time job. And I wasn't sure I would get the job, so I went back to Intel, and I did end up getting hired for the Air Force Band, but it took a while to get me out of the intelligence career field because at that time 9/11 had already happened, and my career field in intelligence was stop-lossed. So I was stop-lossed and locked into that for about 6 months before I could transfer, cross-train into another career field, into the Air Force Band. So I did Intel, I did Topson Blue. I'm currently in the Air National Guard Band. I went from the Air Force Band active duty to the Air National Guard Band part-time, and because my unit just got shut down and decommissioned in Missouri, I'm getting ready to cross-train again into a new career field in the Tennessee Air National Guard because I need to find a new unit and I want to stay involved in the military. So I'm thinking I'm going to go into personnel and be a personnelist, which is a lot of records and documents and making sure that troops are taken care of as far as like their training and personal records and things like that. So it's more of an administrative job, but it's a way that I can stay in and finish out my 20 years. Long answer to a very short question. Hey, Paul Winsel. Paul Winsel, who is the best military videographer you ever worked with? Well, I would have to say the best military videographer I've ever worked with was Paul Winsel. No fair, you're my friend, and you're not supposed to post questions about yourself on here, Paul Winsel. Okay. Larry Barr. Hi, Larry. Larry, my Twitter friend, always tweeting me. Larry Barr, what was different this trip to the Middle East compared to the other times you've been there? Well, this was the first time I've ever gone to the Middle East in a civilian capacity. So that was definitely different. Every other time I've gone has been in support of a mission as a military person, as an active duty or National Guardsman. So I didn't get to go as military personnel this time because I'm in between units right now, and it was hard for me to get orders to go on this mission as a military person. So it was easier for everyone with the time constraints that we had to just let me go as a civilian. So that was definitely different. It was weird for me to be walking around in Afghanistan in civilian clothes and not in uniform. It was weird to be in IBA, which is individual body armor, and Kevlar, you know, with civilian clothes underneath. That was weird. Another cool thing was this was the first time in many years that I've been able to go over and be in the Middle East during the holidays. And the holidays are a very important time over there. They're the time when people get the most lonely, miss their families, and feel like they're missing out on all the festivities back home. So I have gotten to go over there during the holidays before, but it's been a long time, and it really helped me to remember how important it is to go during that time to boost the troops' morale. So those things were different. Also, this was the first time in 4 years, from what I understand, we were at Bagram Airfield on Christmas Day in Afghanistan, and it was the first time in 4 years that Bagram didn't get rocket attack or mortar fire on Christmas Day. So that was pretty awesome, and we were really happy to hear that because we felt like maybe maybe because we came, we brought some good luck or something, and people didn't have to endure that on Christmas Day. So, all right, next question. Darina2322, what was it like in the Middle East? It's a totally different culture. It's pretty much like night and day from the United States, and a lot of the freedoms that were afforded here, a lot of the luxuries that were afforded here, even in the civilian population in the Middle East, they are not afforded. And especially on base lifestyle for troops it is boring. If they're not supporting the mission, then it's just kind of like fill your free time up with whatever you can, and there's not a lot to do, which is also why it's important for groups like Topson Blue and artists with the USO go over and do shows for them, because all they really have to do is work out and Skype with their families and maybe hang out on the internet, and it's limited to what fun festivities and activities they get to do. So that's definitely different. Some other things that are different on base. It's funny because every day I wake up with a newfound appreciation for being home. On base, the water isn't potable, which means you can't drink it. You can shower with it, but you can't drink it. So you have to have bottled water all the time. So any sink water or anything like that, you can't drink. Bottled water is very readily available on bases out there. Let's see what else. You have to shower with shoes on because they're community showers everywhere on base. You share the showers with the rest of your comrades. So you don't want to get like athlete's foot or anything. So you shower with shoes on, which is really annoying. The female showers have locks on the doors just to prevent any kind of privacy issues. So that's weird to go into a shower and like close the door and lock it behind you and be locked in the shower. Everyone's pretty much in uniform all the time. You're either in your PT gear, which is your physical fitness gear, Air Force, Army, Navy, Marine issued, or you're in your combat gear. There's not a lot of times you can wear civilian clothes unless you are a civilian contractor that's stationed there, which I was this time, so that was interesting. How else is it different? There's no grass. There's gravel everywhere, gravel and sand. It's hot or it's freezing. There's not a lot of variation in temperature. I don't know. It's just, it's a completely different culture. It's a different lifestyle. Military lifestyle in itself is different when you're deployed, but to be in that region of the world is very different too. So I'm going to go to the next question now. Jeff Cox asks, hello Jeff, what was it like to revisit the pallet place where all started, and did you miss the color belts? It was really surreal to go back to where the YouTube video happened. I was excited. I knew ahead of time that we were going to be going back to that base, and I knew that we would probably pass by that area, the pallet yard, and so I was really excited about going back. But then to go and to stand in that spot where I have seen the YouTube video, I've watched the YouTube video several times myself since it happened, and just to see how I was in the YouTube video, and then to be back 2 years later and standing right in that spot and seeing everything that has happened in my life, everything that's transpired, and all the blessings that have come my way. It was really surreal, and I felt incredibly fortunate in that moment to just kind of look back and reflect, and to stand there again and just see the way everyone changed my life. I mean, I really feel like it was in God's plan, but I also feel like all the people that saw the video and then Are You Surprised, the handle of the guy that actually posted the video and took the video, I just feel like him and you guys and everyone that was involved in making it go viral kind of were with me in that moment. Like I took it all in. I was like, because of this spot, because of the song that I sang, because of the guy that took the video, because of all the people that passed it on, I get to be living my dream. So it was awesome, and I took the picture, and I had that picture, and I'm going to save it and just relish it forever. And I hope to get to go back to that base over and over again and just kind of keep revisiting that moment to get perspective and to remember how it all started. So it was really cool. Good question, Jeff. Let's see, looking for our next question. Stephen Roos, which might be Cynthia Roos. Hi, if it is Cynthia, hi Cynthia. Hi Stephen, if it is Stephen. Will you continue to sing with TIV when your schedule allows? Topson Blue is so special to me. I will sing with Topson Blue anytime they ask. When they call, I pretty much always say yes. And I've been very blessed and fortunate because when they have called, there hasn't been any conflict schedule-wise. But yes, that's for sure. As long as there's no schedule conflict, I will continue to be involved with Topson Blue because it's not just a singing group and it's not just a military unit. It is a family. You're in for life. It's almost kind of like a co-ed fraternity or sorority. Like once you're in Topson Blue, you're part of a tradition. You're part of a legacy that is being carried on and has been going on for 60 years within the Air Force. And you know, it's something that I hope to contribute to as long as I can and as long as they'll have me. All right. Hold on, what can we? Aw, JG Clark 45. What can we do to get you back on the Ellen Show? Can we start a tweeting campaign? Sure! I'm down. Whatever y'all want to do. If you want to start a tweeting campaign, I'm all for it. Aw, hi Fiddle. You guys got to meet Fiddle. This is my little donkey. Say hi, Fiddle. This is Fiddle. She's being squeamish. Are you being camera shy? Say hi. Hi. Okay. Ah. All right. Jack Pitts is asking, hi Angie, thank you for your service and thank you for encouraging others to live their dreams as well. You're welcome. It's my pleasure. I'm blessed to be able to do so. Will there be any more tours with Topson Blue? You know, I'm not sure. Topson Blue has a new team every year. They audition people across the Air Force and across the Air National Guard every year. And they put a new team together and they train them. It's like 2 months of learning all the songs, learning the music, the band learns the music, learning all the choreography, and then also learning how to build the set. And that's a really important part of Topson Blue that I don't think a lot of people know. When you're cast as a vocalist or as an instrumentalist on Topson Blue, that's not your only job. You have to learn how to build your stage, how to do the wardrobe, how, you know, everyone is assigned duties. So it's very hard work. And I lost 10 pounds while I was gone. I'm like I'm the same size I was my senior year of high school. that's how hard we worked because there aren't any roadies. There's no one there to do your sound. There's no one there to do your lighting. My job on Topson Blue this past tour was a lighting technician on top of being vocalist and doing dancing during the show. And so I had to learn how to relearn how to bolt the truss together for the front truss and the rear truss, and then put all the different lights on, and then wire the data cabling that sends the message to the lighting board in the front of house, and then do the power for it all. And so everyone has a job like that. If you're on wardrobe, then you've got everyone's wardrobe that you have to take care of. You have to steam their clothes, you have to make sure they're hung, and everyone's got, we did probably 6 or 7 costume changes during every show, each person. So the wardrobe people really had their hands full, and there were only 2 or 3 girls that were doing wardrobe, and they had to make sure that everyone's stuff was pressed ready to go for every show in order of which they had to change. And so it's a big job, and everyone's got their jobs. The sound people have to make sure all the speakers are working, all the microphones are working. They have to set up the speakers and the monitors for us to use, the vocalists to use on stage. And so anyway, my point is, there's a tour every year, and you have to learn how to do that. Each team has to learn how to do that. And I'm not sure if they're ever going to ask a bunch of prior Topson Blue members to come back again. This was kind of a special tour because of the sequestration and budget problems within the military and the government and everything that happened this year. With that, they weren't able to start a new team in 2013. They weren't able to get the funding to recruit all the new castmates and you know, buy everything that they needed for that tour. So they thought, what is the quickest way that we could still send a team over for the holidays when the troops need it the most, that would be low budget and it wouldn't take a lot of time for training. And they said, well, we could call a bunch of prior Topson Blue members in here that already know the work ethic, that already know how to use the equipment, set things up, that already know a lot of the kind of standard Topson Blue choreography, and that are really quick at picking up music. And that's how I got to be on this tour. They called, they asked me if I wanted to go. They said, we've got 2.5 weeks to build a 2.5-hour show with 40 songs, 13 vocalists, I think 7 band members, and it has to be killer. It has to be Topson Blue. It's got to be the Topson Blue standard, and if you want to come, we would love to have you. And I was like, yeah, I want to come. Are you kidding? This is awesome. I wanted to do it because I love going overseas. I love doing morale shows. That's just in my blood. I've done it so many times, and I want to continue doing that. But I also wanted to do it because I wanted to see if I still had it in me. When I toured in Topson Blue, I was on tour in 2002. So I wanted to see if I still could work that hard, if I could still do the roadie work and then get 2.5 to 4 hours sleep every night and go out, set up a stage, do a sound check, do a show, tear it down, put it on pallets, go to sleep for a couple hours, wake up, get on a cargo plane, and then go the next day to another base. And that's how it was the entire time we were there. And it was hard, and I'm really proud of the work that we did. It was a great team, and it was really cool to see the priors out there just making it happen for the troops and for Topson Blue and the legacy that we want to carry on. And so, you know, if they did another priors tour, maybe I would be able to go out again, but I probably wouldn't be able to do a full 10-month tour, which is the standard Topson Blue tour, 2 months of training and then 10 months touring the whole world. At different military bases, putting on the shows. I probably wouldn't be able to do that because I don't know if I could handle it. I'm not as young as I used to be. Okay. Gosh, I'm really long-winded, guys. I'm sorry. I'm a chatty Cathy. What other questions do we have? Okay, I think this is Kimber. I don't know how to say this last name. Kimber Diamse. I don't know how to say that. I'm so sorry. I'm butchering your name. Hi, Angie. I love your voice. I'm planning on joining the Air Force Reserves this summer. Was BMT hard? BMT is basic military training. How many push did you have to do, and can you please give me some tips? Thank you. I think this is how many push-ups? Is that? I think that might be what you're asking me. That's a funny question. Thank you for saying that you love my voice. Not everybody does. So I'm super glad that you're thinking about joining the Air Force Reserves. I think it's a great decision, especially since it kind of lets you be a civilian and still serve your country. It's a good way for you to see if you like it, and if you really love it, then maybe you can go active duty. I commend that decision. And was BMT hard? basic military training was very hard. I'm not going to beat around the bush. One of the hardest things I've ever done, and also one of the smartest things I've ever done. If you can go into it with the mindset that you're going to be walking into a completely different world than what you're used to, and to just be open-minded and prepared for anything, then you'll be fine. It is hard. It's going to push all your limits. It's going to push your emotional limits. It's going to push your physical limits. It's going to push your intellectual limits, because you're going to have to take classes and learn about the military, and learn about the ranking structure, and learn about warfare, and it's going to push all your limits, and you're going to get homesick. But at the end of it all, when it's done, and you graduate, and you march across the parade field with your flight, and your family is there watching, and you realize that you've just overcome a very huge obstacle that not everyone is capable of doing. You feel such an enormous sense of pride in what you've accomplished, and also in patriotism, because what you're going to set out to do after you graduate from basic military training is go to tech school, and you're going to learn a skill that is so valuable, and you're going to contribute to something very much bigger than you, and you're going to get to be a part of that. And so, yeah, it's hard. You're going to have to do a lot of push-ups. How many push-ups did I have to do? I don't remember how many push-ups I had to do in basic training. I don't remember how many I did. I know now, I think you have to do like 45 in a minute, I think. I'm not 100% sure on that, so don't take that as fact. But yes, I can give you tips for sure. The easiest way that I found out in increasing your push-ups is there's an app, and I think it's called 100 push-ups. And it starts you off really slow, just doing a couple a day, and then it increases the number until you're able to do 100 push-ups in one sitting. So I can't do 100 push-ups in one sitting now. There was a time when I could, but I can't now. But the app really helped me get to that point. And also, if you can start doing push-ups just like on a wall, or you can do push-ups on your knees on the floor. If you really have no foundation for being able to do push-ups and you can't even do one, that's a great way to start. Start on your knees on the floor, start on the wall. It's a random question, and I'm sorry if my advice is random, but that's what I've done in the past. So good luck to you. I'm so excited for you, and I hope that you stay in touch. Either on my website, you can write me on my website, officialangiejohnson.com, or on Facebook, Kimber, and just let me know how your basic training experience went, and like if you're in tech school and you ever want to write and ask questions, I hugely care and want to support anyone who is going through that, because it's a new experience and it's difficult, and any advice that I can give, I would love to give. Okay. Are there more questions? Let's see. Jeff Cox asked, did the Air Force National Guard give you a chance to mentor as a Master Sergeant? Not yet, but that's not because they haven't given me the chance. It's just my schedule's been so busy. I do think that I'll be going to the NCO Academy, which NCO Academy stands for Non-Commissioned Officer Academy, this year. That's my goal. And so after that, then I'll be able to kind of start the process for putting on Master Sergeant, which is the next rank from Tech Sergeant, for those of you military or non-military people that are watching. All right, I want to give a shout out to Samantha Campbell. Hi, Sam. Hi, Samantha. Samantha is a very special girl to me, and she's watching right now. She's my manager's daughter, and she's just a delight, and I want to say hi. Hi, Samantha. Mwah. All right, what else do we have? I think I had some questions off of Facebook, too. that I wanted to answer. My dog wants to go out because she knows how to ring the bell when she wants to go out. Oh, now she's hiding. Never mind. Can you go outside? I'll be right back. Can you go outside? Okay, sorry about that. When nature calls. Okay. And I hope that you guys are cool with this being just really laid back and me being in my house and letting my dogs out and drinking tea, because I wanted this to be natural, and I wanted it to be a real experience and an interactive one between me and you guys. You're so very important to me, each one of you, and I recognize so many names of people that are asking questions because you stay in contact with me on Facebook and on Twitter, and it matters to me, and you matter to me. So I hope that it's cool that we're just being real people right now. So some of the questions that I got from Facebook that I wanted to answer. Lynn Burns Morris asked today on Facebook. Doggies. Lynn Burns Morris, if you're listening, this is a great question. I really appreciate you asking this. How is the morale of our troops? I'd like to hear the truth, and I trust you'll give me a truthful answer. Thanks. God bless you. God bless you, Lynn. This is such an important question, and I do want people to know what it's like for our troops over there. First and foremost, know that our troops are resilient people. Everyone is over there with a sense of purpose and a sense of duty. So I'm not going to say that nobody is over there not wanting to be there. And there are definitely times when every single person there probably doesn't want to be there, because you get lonely and you miss your family and you miss your conveniences and you miss your freedoms. But I will say, from my experiences, that's all I have to go by. The 8 times that I've gone overseas to do morale shows, to the Middle East specifically, the morale has been good in the sense that everyone knows why they're there, and everyone feels like they are an important part of the warfighting mission. Right now is a weird time in the Middle East, especially at bases like Bagram. We went to a couple of bases that are shutting down, so the troops are being pulled back, and there are even less conveniences than normal, because as they shut things down, they also shut down things like the morale welfare centers. They take, they're stripping the bases apart, and they're bringing people back home, but then they still have to kind of maintain operations with the small force of people, and the small forces of people that are still there aren't getting all of the amenities that they have been able to get in the past, like morale welfare things, like being able to go get internet in an internet tent, because comms are shutting down and things like that. So those people we really were concerned about when we went over with Topson Blue, and we definitely wanted to go to Bagram on Christmas Day because they're shutting down, because they're not getting all the morale tours and the shows that are coming through anymore, because everyone knows they're shutting down. So their morale is excited. They're excited, like, oh, okay, great, we're shutting down, we're going home. But at the same time, they're like, oh, this is so boring. Like, all we do is work, and then there's not really anything else to do. So it was really important for us to go over there. I don't know if that completely answers your question, but the morale isn't horrible. It's not like everyone hates being there and it's just drudgery all the time. Everyone that's there is a very special person that is part of our armed forces that has made a decision to sacrifice their time with their families, sacrifice their conveniences and all of their, I don't know what the word is. I guess conveniences is just the best word. All of the luxuries that you get to have when you're home, they sacrifice those things to be over there supporting the mission and supporting our country. And there's a certain amount of pride that they take in that. So hope that answers your question, Lynn. Jim McCullough, my friend, he asked, does Topson Blue ever make videos for sale for people who couldn't see the shows? I'm sorry, Jim, no, they do not. But if you go to the Topson Blue Facebook page, you can like it. It's a page just like my page for Topson Blue. Go to it, like it, and they've been putting up clips of our shows. And so you can see at least clips of certain sets that we did on that page. So it's Tops in Blue, Tops, see my shirt, T-O-P-S in Blue. And you can go on there and you can see some video footage. And I'm going to be uploading a lot of stuff to my Facebook page very soon. I finally got it all compiled on my computer today, and I'm going to upload it in an album on Facebook so that you guys can check out some of my personal photos and videos. Yay! Let's see. Andy Goodwill asked, I see you and some of the other folks on your tour are in different uniforms. Does it have some other meaning or significance? Well, I kind of explained this already, but I'll re-explain it, Andy, if you're listening. Because this was a special Topson Blue team, and it wasn't a bunch of active duty people that they brought from the Air Force to volunteer to go on this tour, because it was a bunch of prior members that have already toured Topson Blue before, it was a little different this year. And the reason we had different uniforms because half of us were civilians and the other half of us were actually active duty people who are still serving active duty. And then, you know, the civilians are people that have been out of the Air Force for several years or retired a few years ago but still wanted to come support this particular Topson Blue tour. And I was in civilian clothes because I'm in between National Guard units right now. I'm transferring from the Missouri National Guard to the Tennessee National Guard, and so it was a little bit difficult for us to get orders and everything solidified and all my training done and stuff before within the time constraints that we had, so that I could go over as military personnel. So it was for this tour, just because we were on a time crunch, it was easier to send me over as a civilian contractor, and that's how that worked out. Because I'm in the National Guard part-time, I'm not active duty. Okay. Art Hemingway asked, is your MOS supply? MOS is, for you non-military people, MOS is an Army acronym for your job specialty, what your career field is, what your job is. In the Air Force, we call it AFSC, which is your Air Force Specialty Code. Art, no, my MOS/AFSC is not supply. I've never been a supply troop, though I appreciate supply troops all over the place because they make sure we have our stuff. I was an intelligence analyst first when I joined the Air Force. My MOS, my AFSC was a 1N0 5-1, and then I cross-trained into the Air Force Band, and my AFSC for that is 3N171R, I think it is, or Z. It's just a bunch of numbers and coding. But no, I'm not a supply troop. I'm getting ready to maybe be a personnel troop soon. Interesting question. Good job, Art. Clinton Jordan would like to know, what has the grub been like during the tour? Well, the food over there is really normal food, honestly. We ate in dining facilities, kind of like cafeterias, in big tents. Everything was really in big tents. If there weren't hardened facilities, then they were tents. And you kind of go through the cafeteria line. You can order an omelet. You can get a salad. It's pretty normal food. When you go further forward to the FOBs, the forward operating bases, the food does change. It's more localized food. It's less westernized. You can get more authentic things for that region. And sometimes when you go really far forward in the small FOBs that only have like 50 to 100 people, getting food can be difficult. because if the supply and the shipment doesn't come in when they say, it just, I've been to bases before where they had actually run out of food, which sucks for troops because they should be fed. But I'm not going to get on my soapbox about that. But yeah, the food for the most part is normal. Every once in a while you get a steak and seafood night, which sounds totally wild because you're deployed and you're on a base in the Middle East, but that's part of morale, and it's really cool because leadership, higher up brass, want to make sure that, you know, all these different aspects of morale for our troops are looked at and taken care of. So every once in a while you get a steak and seafood night, and that, even a small thing like that, really helps you to feel better, even though you're gone and you're far away from your family for so long. So, interesting question, food. Rob Swanson asked, do people recognize you as you travel? Not really, only because, like, when I'm traveling, if I'm at an airport or something like that, I just am normal. I wear sweatshirts and hats and tennis shoes, and, you know, I don't really diva myself out when I'm traveling. But when I'm doing shows, like at shows, if people come meet me in a meet and greet line afterward or something, they do. They'll recognize me if I talk about the YouTube video or if I talk about being on The Voice. It'll kind of click while they're watching the show, and they'll say, oh, I remember her, and then they'll come meet me afterward and say, oh, I watched your video, and I passed it on, I posted it to my Facebook page, which is always really awesome because it lets me know how far-reaching the YouTube video was and how magical that whole experience was. And it's really cool to meet people after shows at meet and greets that have supported this crazy journey of mine, my dream, for so long, for 2 years now. So sometimes, yeah, sometimes they recognize me. All right, I think we're going to wrap this up in about 3 minutes. I'm going to answer as many more questions as I can. Sorry. I love Jack Pitts right now. Jack Pitts said, Surf and Turf Wednesdays was awesome. It felt really good to get that when I was deployed. See? Love it. Oh, hi, Wanda. Wanda Thompson. I love the fact that this is laid back and in your house. Shows your personality better, and as someone who's seen it in person, you have a great one. Aw, thanks, Wanda. Wanda is one of my most loyal fans. She's always tweeting and Facebooking me and coming to shows that I do in Ohio. Gerald Dufresne, I think is how you say that, wants me to say huh. Huh. I'm looking for questions. Okay, Stephen Roos asked again, did any Sidewinder band members go also? No, Sidewinder in the Air Force band was not involved in this tour. The Air Force band and the Air National Guard band and Topson Blue are two completely different entities. The Air Force band is an actual career field, just like supply or personnel or intelligence. It is a job within the Air Force that you get to do full time. And Topson Blue is a 1-year tour, and it's voluntary, and you have to audition for it. And it's considered, it's almost considered like an elite unit, almost like a special duty, but not technically a special duty, kind of like the Thunderbirds and things like that. If you're selected for Topson Blue, it's such an honor to do it that your commanders and stuff will let you out of your job for that year to go do that and to go be a representative of your unit back home, and an ambassador for the Air Force overseas, and you know, supporting troop morale and the communities stateside and all of that stuff. So no, Sidewinder didn't get to go because it is literally two completely different groups, two completely different entities. All right. Nick Spangler, this is so interesting. Were you in the military or no? Yes, Nick, I was in the military active duty for 6 years, and I am still in the Air National Guard right now. I'm a tech sergeant, and I hope to continue serving for as long as I possibly can. Sorry, people are saying hi to my dogs. I'm looking for questions about the tour specifically. Wanda Thompson asked, were you able to sing For You when in the Middle East? This is a great question. It was something I definitely considered. Sing For You is the title song of my EP. Super special song to me. I co-wrote it with Kat Gravitt and my producer, Josh Leo. I didn't sing it while I was on this tour, only because the subject matter is very raw, which I wanted it to be. I wanted the song to be that way, and that was our intention when we wrote it. But for this particular mission, and I consider what we did a mission, it was to boost troop morale, and I didn't want them to think about any of the troubles that they had. And Sing For You is such a raw song, and it's very first person because it's a true story about an interaction that I had with a troop that told me his story. And it's not an easy story. It's a hard story, and it's a little bit sad, but it's a story that needed to be told. So I didn't want to do that on this Topson Blue tour because I really wanted to go out there and just have fun and give them time, give the troops time to not think about the heavy and to just be light and to get nostalgic and have 2.5 hours to just be human beings, to not be a name tape and not be a uniform and not have to think about all the heavy things that they're involved in being deployed. So I didn't do Sing For You. I love the song and still, of course, stand behind it, and it's a dear song to me, but that's why I didn't want to do it while we were overseas. Hope that makes sense. And I'm sorry I keep sniffling. I'm just getting over a cold I've had for a little while since I got back. Well, I think we've done most of the questions about the tour. And that's what I wanted this Q&A to be. I wanted it to be specifically about the tour overseas because it was really special, and a lot of people were asking me questions about that. So I guess we're going to wrap it up. I really appreciate everyone being here. Hold on. Bobby's showing me something. Okay, awesome. I would let Bobby say hi, but he doesn't want to be on camera. Yeah, so I really enjoyed this. I hope to do more stuff like this, and I hope that you guys had fun. I don't really know what's coming up in 2014. The music industry is crazy, and it's very unpredictable, and my life is unpredictable. It has been since the YouTube video happened. It's a blessing, but I hope to do more of these types of interactions with you because I really, really care about you and about your involvement in my career and in this journey, because I feel like the only reason I have a career is because of you. The only reason I have a journey is because you have helped me with passing the YouTube video and continuing to support me on Facebook and on Twitter, buying my EP on iTunes and all that. So I really, really want to involve you, and we're going to do more of these things as more opportunities and cool things that happen in my career come up. We'll do more Q&As like this. And I hope that you had fun, because I really did. This was so laid back and cool, and I feel like we really connected. Keep up with me on Facebook. Official Angie Johnson on Facebook. My Twitter handle is at Angie Johnson, at Angie Johnson, and then my website is officialangie.johnson.com. You can subscribe to this YouTube channel. This is my YouTube channel. You can subscribe to it and get notifications for when I post videos, and I'm going to start doing that more. And also, we have a mailing list on my website. The mailing list is really important, and I'm not just trying to be pushy here, okay? The mailing list is important because if you sign up to the mailing list, then we're going to send you an email every time I do a show in your area. If I do a show 100 miles within the vicinity of where you are, you're going to get an email that lets you know that if you're signed up to my mailing list. And I get so many comments and stuff from people saying like, oh, you just played in my city and I didn't know, I totally would have come, and that breaks my heart because I want you to be able to come because I want to meet you and I want to interact with you, and you're special to me. So please go sign up to the mailing list, and I don't spam at all. I literally just, like, when a new song comes out or when new music or new merchandise on my online store comes out, you know, those I send out emails just to let you guys know because I feel like you want to know because you ask me the questions on Facebook and in emails and stuff. So I don't spam. I don't try to get you to do anything else other than just give you info about when I'm coming to your city or new music that's out or anything like that. So yeah, sign up to the mailing list. I think that's it, guys. I'm going to go have my tea, and I'm going to cuddle with my fur babies and watch a show and just kind of enjoy being home because I haven't really gotten to do that much lately. This has been fun, and I love each and every single one of you, and we'll do this again soon. Okay, bye. God bless you all.